To defy the odds, you have to risk everything and take chances. At Old Nation Brewing Company, we did just that. From an unknown startup brewery to standing alongside national craft brands in just under a decade, we remain one of the last of the large, independently owned breweries in Michigan. Our beer is respectfully brewed using only the highest quality ingredients, and we don't cut corners. With the times changing for everyone, one thing that stays the same is Old Nation's respect for great beer and the people who love it. We're growing in cans produced and fans made. When you taste our beer, you'll know why.
I'm going to hijack the show because I'm in a rancid mood, and frankly, something Otto just said really angered me. What is the point of these postseason awards if we're not going to award the appropriate people? And this isn't a woe is us Detroit thing, but can anyone in this universe explain to me how a president of basketball operations who takes a historically awful franchise who's made the playoffs once essentially in 15 years, hadn't won a playoff game in 15 years, from 14 to 44 wins, and he finishes third, not second, third, should have won the award. Like, what executive deserves more credit? OKC didn't do anything. Celtics didn't do anything. Cleveland didn't do anything. Trajan Langdon walked into hell.
Yeah.
So he doesn't win that. Bickerstaff comes here. He's handed scraps. Truthfully. Yeah, I know a lot of people are all bricked up about the Malik Beasleys and the Hardaways and the Dennis Schroeders. They're scraps. And Bickerstaff put together a team that was an absolute ball breaker. Did he win Coach of the Year, Rico? Let me help you. What is the point of these awards?
You know what I think the point is, Mike? I agree with you. I think they need to wait on the voting. I know they want to do all of this stuff during the playoffs, but I think if you would have did the same award and people would have saw what the Pistons did against the Knicks and then voted, I think that you would have had Bickerstaff as Coach of the Year.
Who votes on it? Who votes on that, David?
Is this the writers? Or
No, because if it's the writers, that's case in point. Those people don't watch basketball. Oh, they watch the team they cover. They don't watch ball.
But I think
it's just like Heisman voters. Oh, I do play-by-play for Texas A&M. Right, which means you're only watching A&M football because you're at A&M games. You don't watch anything else.
Well, it says voting for this award is conducted by executives from the 30 teams. So other executives.
You know what I would love? I'd love to sit the 30 people down and have them explain to me how anyone in this league did an unequivocally better job, objectively better job than Bickerstaff and or Trajan Langdon. For the Detroit Pistons not to get one of those awards, that's clown.
No, it is.
Clown bleep.
I think that it's
and
one.
Sports writers do vote on the Coach of the Year.
Losers.
I think that this is going to be one where it sets these guys up for next year. Because, Mike, if today was the deadline for voting, these two would have win hands down because they would be like, wow, not only did you win all of these games, because I think what happened was a lot of people looked at the Pistons, how we were saying, they're only winning because they're trying and nobody else is really trying in the NBA. So is it really a turnaround or are they just the only ones showing up and prepare for the test?
But hold on.
Now, when they got to the playoffs, you saw, wow, this team is for real.
Preseason, the win total was like 23.
Correct.
Rico, they got to 44.
They did.
I don't care if they're playing neighborhood kids.
Mike, they did, but nobody thought it was real. They thought it was like cotton candy victories. Like, okay, they're winning, but teams aren't trying. So, yes, they're showing up and they're getting games, and it's not their fault. But I don't think people value their victories. And then the playoffs happen, and I think a lot of people, if given the opportunity, would change that vote and say, ooh, we screwed up here. Detroit, Bickerstaff should have got that. Trajan putting together that team and giving the Knicks fits like that, yeah, he should have been the general manager of the year. I'm with you.
I know that.
But I think that it's like the Heisman voters who turn in their vote, and it's like, guys, there's still games to be played. Well, I've got my mind made up.
Most Heisman voters don't even watch sports. I'm sorry.
I know.
I hate to break it to people.
But the fact that 10% turn in their votes before the championship games are even played.
You know how I know they didn't watch sports? They put Jabril Peppers in New York. All right, David, go ahead, and then we can move on. I'll do some ticket text. I want to get to the Lions, and I'm sorry to hijack the show, but there are certain times I get so upset, and it's not a woe is us in Detroit thing. It's that for the Detroit Pistons, who performed one of the great turnarounds in sports, not basketball, sports, to not get a single award for the coach or the president of basketball ops, then just scrap the awards. They're a bigger joke than the Oscars. Every time these movies that win an Oscar, these movies blow. No one even watches these things.
That's true.
Honestly. Oh, you didn't watch Nebraska?
Okay.
No, I can't watch Nebraska football, much as a black and white movie about a pickup truck. Who picks this crap?
Bro, I tried to do that one year. Like, I'm going to watch all the Oscar movies.
Oh, please.
My.
You didn't make it through two of them.
I was about to say about 1.5 in and was like, you know what? How about we just, no. Just no.
David.
Because you're right, Mike. It's, I can argue, okay, not winning Sixth Man of the Year, not winning Most Improved, stuff like that they were also
right.
players.
But coach or front office,
Correct.
The architects of that turnaround to not win an award, come on.
And the Cavs were already a good team. Yes, they've taken it to another level, but 14-44, and you don't win anything executive or coach, that is ridiculous.
But see, also coaching-wise, I wonder if just Bickerstaff's abrasive, his style on the court may have held him back, that people just didn't like him.
Well, knowing that the sports writers are the ones voting for this, I can definitely see that.
Right. And so
we don't like you.
Right. I don't like how you complain and whine all the time. So, no, I'm not going to give you my first. You did a good job, so I'll reward you with my second place vote.
From text from Chuck.
And Mike, you know that just from the Heisman. I'm sure you talk to enough Heisman people. It's like, well, you play for this team, so I can't give you my vote. What is it? Is he the best player or not? Yeah, but. There's no but.
From Chuck, he says, good afternoon, guys. Mike, the worst part of the JB not winning it are the hacks that didn't even have him in their top 3.
Okay, see.
Totally ridiculous.
And that's my point. If Trajan finished second, maybe I could make sense of it. Third, but how could 3 coaches in the NBA have done a better job than JB? How?
And I think it goes back to some don't like his style. And that's why. And it's not right and it's not fair. But when you let the sports writers, people pick what they like and they don't like him. We love him here in Detroit, but it ain't all Detroit writers who are voting for him. So some just said, I'm just going to leave him off my ballot, thinking I'll show him. And this is what happens.
Someone says, there are 30 guys around the league who could have improved the Pistons. They had a coach who didn't want to coach here. I don't give JB that much credit for what he did. Wow.
Boy.
Then another person, you do not get an award for going from the worst basketball team ever to becoming an average NBA team. Sorry, not impressed.
Okay.
Horrible to mediocre
so
isn't something to celebrate.
Hold on. So if you don't celebrate that type of turnaround, then what turnaround do you celebrate? Because the awards generally end up with good team who was good. I mean, that's you're expected to win 50 to 60 games in a lot of these places. So what are we championing?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me when Langdon, in his press conference before the season, basically said, I'm just, going, he basically said they brought in Beasley to trade him. They were bringing in pieces to trade at the deadline, and they won and kept everyone.
Yeah, I mean, David, it kind of felt like the Tigers where they were just, we're going to field a team, no expectation, and the team exceeded all expectations. Like, wow. So you went from, Tobias Harris was supposed to be trade deadline to help build for next year's season. They won games. I just think that I'm going to go back to it. People voted, and they didn't really respect the Pistons because they thought, yes, you won games, but did you really win games, or teams just kind of took you too lightly?
Okay, and maybe I'm stupid because I look at, wow, they shattered their win total by 21.5 on the over. Maybe I'm a dummy.
But, I mean, you saw that, and it's not that Vegas is the end-all, be-all, but going into the series with the Knicks, they had people were like, you have no chance of beating the Knicks. Well, actually, they did. They probably should have beaten them, but they made rookie mistakes because they were new to the playoffs. But other than that, they played the Knicks tough, and even the Knicks came out and was like, man, we weren't expecting this. That tells me if the Knicks are saying we weren't expecting this, the league wasn't expecting that.
Thank you. Go ahead, David. One more, and then I'm moving.
Make it easier. Wait until the postseason is over and just give the coach of the year to the team that wins it all. There's gambling involved. Reporters should have no say.
Thank you. Make it easier. Idiot reporters shouldn't vote. Make it easier.
Hate to say it, but a team having one of the worst seasons of all time doesn't mean they're any more special than next year because of that bad season.
All right. Okay.
What am I missing?
We're good here. Team lost 30 games in a row season prior. New GM, new coach, win 44, make playoffs. I don't know. That, to me, the coach or the president of ops should win an award. But you know what? I'm an idiot.